News in Honolulu. And together today we're also broadcasting for Hawaii News Online. I'm wanted you to listen to a number of recordings. These are phone calls with elected officials, and all of these elected officials I talked to are senators or representatives of the health and disaster management committees by the state of Hawaii. So you would think that any of these senators or representatives would know how COVID cases are counted, specifically when it comes to the travel and tourism industry and with visitors to the state of Hawaii. The visitor industry obviously is one of our most important industries in this state. There's also a short phone call with the Hawaii Lodging and Tourism organization, and they also kind of hiddenly explain what is best said actually at the end of this recording by the representative for Senator Sharon Moriwaki in explaining that yes, if a visitor falls ill with COVID or is tested positive with COVID, this visitor will immediately be counted in Hawaii. But after a short investigation, these numbers initially added to the Hawaii count will then be adjusted and added to their home state or home country's count. So that's really where we stand. We don't know how many visitors actually have COVID, and this seems to be a number that is deliberately hidden from the public, from the visitors, to make our state perhaps appear to be a lot safer than it really is, and make our residents feel a lot safer. There's no guarantee. Maybe none of our visitors have COVID. Wait a minute, not true. Actually, if you listen to the recording, you see that they actually admitted there are visitors with COVID and numbers have been adjusted. So listen to what our state representatives and state senators have to say, and then you can come to your own conclusion.
Okay, so let's break down your question, because off the top, based on what you said so far, I would typically refer you to the Department of Health, but you sound like someone who might have reached out to them already.
I did. I reached out to the Department of Health, I reached out to the governor's office, and I reached out to every member of the health committee. And then I run into that there's a pandemic disaster preparedness committee. I didn't even know. And so I wanted to clarify, from what I understand so far, the head, as I said, the head from the health committee is that these numbers are not included. So if someone from California happens to get sick here, he would be counted in California. Is that what you understand as well?
Okay, so speaking for myself, on as far as what I know, the state's counting mechanisms have been, the state of Hawaii would not count that person as a Hawaii number. I don't know what California is doing.
Right.
So just
No,
because Hawaii doesn't count them doesn't mean California is counting them.
I understand that. Yes, I understand that.
Okay.
But there are certain guidelines. The United States is part of the World Health Organization, so they have to be counted somewhere. That's an international agreement.
Yeah, if I had to working on an assumption, I would say yes, California would count them because they would be a resident of California.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But is this the understanding then from is it Congresswoman, right? Ichiyama?
No, just state representative. Yeah.
State representative.
She does not go to Washington, D.C., no.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, my mistake. State representative, yes. Okay, so that's her understanding then.
Yeah. So the state of Hawaii is counting Hawaii residents that are in and out of state. So like what that could mean is like if someone owns a home in Las Vegas, for example, and they contract the virus in Las Vegas, in Nevada, that count is still counted in Hawaii numbers.
Right, I understand. So if this was the case, I'm also, maybe should disclose to you, I'm chairman of a global organization, what is the World Tourism Network. We're an organization in 127 countries, including the United States, and we deal with nothing but COVID right now and for the last year. So we also are the ones behind the rebuilding.travel discussion. Now, when I'm looking at these numbers, and then as a Hawaii resident on top of it, shouldn't I be concerned that the state is hiding or these numbers from other residents? Because we don't know what the dark number is of tourists, even though I understand there are strict requirements for testing and so forth, but that's not a guarantee, and numbers can change within an hour after testing. So there is definitely most likely a number of people that get here and have COVID regardless, right? And some of them may never know, and we may never know.